What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Woo! Alright, so this really, I'm not gonna lie, it this feels weird to me, okay? Cause I usually record Sunday's video on Sunday. But for like the past 2 weeks, I've been recording it on Saturday and then uploading it on Sunday. Just to, give me a little bit more time to edit and stuff. Because these are supposed to be the very special story times. The rest of the week, yeah, lit story time here, lit story time there, lit right here, lit right there. But this is supposed to be like the littest one. Either the littest or most serious one. Just, something like that. So, I figured what screams lit more than my first kiss? Yes. Whoa. Hold on. My first kiss. Lit. Now, I've been debating about like what first I should share while like my channel's like, because we're a small community on YouTube right now. But once we get bigger, that's when like I'll like share like the real crazy I'm saving some litness for when we reach the milestones. But the first one we need to get to first is 100K. But let me stop talking about that and let's get to the video. Story time takes place back in fourth grade, not bad, fourth grade. So this was after I got done dating the girlfriend who was my first girlfriend from that story time. Speaking of which, I will do the other part to that soon. I don't know when, just soon. But so yeah. So let's just call this girl Sydney. So Sydney, she basically had transferred, but she was from down south. So she had like the little like southern accent a little bit. Her family had it and everything. And like because of that, a lot of the girls would mess with her because like she was bad, bro. She was bad. Basically, I'm pretty sure she basically got left back a year. And because of that, like she was like older than most of us. Meaning, she had the key female, like she had more of the key female features.
She was
The other
thick.
girls. So the other girls used to be like they didn't like her at all. Reason being was because they felt like she was like better than them. And people feel like you're better than them, they like to put you down. So that way, it's self-assuring to some people. I don't agree with that. If you feel like they better than you, you do something that they do, but in your own way. Sauce, no cap, drip. So like, let me stop. So like, she's basically like, okay, like she's introducing herself or whatever. I don't even know where I'm going with that. I don't even know. So what I was really trying to say, because it's a story time that takes place when she actually came to the school, and I thought I was telling. It's weird. Please just bear with me. Bear with me. Anyway, so basically, about like 2 months in, one day, like I kind of felt bad for her because she would always sit at her own table, and like she'd just always like sit at her own table and she'd be alone a whole lot. So I was like basically I was telling my boy, we'll call him Chris. So I was telling Chris, I was like, yo, bro, like I kind of feel bad for her, like she's sitting at her own table and stuff. And I remember when I was in third grade and I had to do that before, I got popular and everything. And like, I feel bad for her. He's like, bro, like, I mean, if you want to, you probably just like her or something, don't you? And I was like, nah, bro, I really do, like, really feel bad for her. Because I'm a really caring person. So, seeing her alone like that, just, it rubbed me the wrong way. So, he was like, all right. So, I was like, you tell the other homies, because me and Chris would basically always, like, be in the front of the line. The homies would be, like, in the back. So, he basically was going to tell them, like, yo, Jay's not sitting here today. So, if you want to, like, invite somebody to the table, you can. Bow. So, because our table was lit, but you had to, like, have a place in the table in order to sit there. Otherwise, you just had to stand there, So, you know, I pick up my tray or whatever, and I go like sit down. So I sit like across the because it was like it's an oval shaped table, and then it's like seats all around. So she was sitting here, I was sitting over here. So I sit there, and she's like eating. She's kind of nervous. Like when like I don't know when you're new and somebody sits near you, like you like look up at them and stuff because you don't know. So like eventually, I waited until she got finished her food, and I was like, hey. She was like, hey. Basically, like, the whole introduction thing, like, what's your name? What school did you come from? Where are you from? So eventually, we started talking about, like, hobbies and interests or whatever. And she was like, yeah, my brothers, they play Call of Duty a whole lot. So I really like Call of Duty. And I was like, really? Because, I don't know, it was weird. At the time, it was weird for me to hear a girl say that. But now all the girls like Call of Duty. But it was weird for me to hear a girl say that. So I was like, that's crazy because I like Call of Duty too. That's my favorite game. It's still my favorite game. So she was like, really? So now we just talking about Call of Duty and our experiences and parties and stuff, like on on PlayStation and stuff. So eventually I was like, hey, what's your PSN or PlayStation Network account? So that way I could add her and we could play Call of Duty together. She was like, oh, it's blah blah blah. I'm not gonna like put it out there and then y'all reverse hack, find out where she live, find out what I live, all of that stuff. So she's like, okay, um, like, she's like, why are you asking? And then she, like, after she gave it to me, and I was like, oh, so we can play together. She was like, really, you can do that? I thought you had to like sit there. And I was like, no, like, if you have PlayStation Plus, you can play together. I'm pretty sure your brother, like, he probably asked for PlayStation Plus. It's a little like card, and it got the Plus and PlayStation. And she was like, oh yeah, he does have that. He has a lot of them. So I was like, all right, bet. So I was like, what time do you normally get on the game? She was like, oh, around like 10 o'clock, like 10 o'clock at night. So I was like, all right. So, and my aunt, she does not like me. I guess she doesn't want me staying up really. So I was like, okay, well, like, you know, basically, I'll try to like play then, but I don't know if I can. She was like, okay. So, walking away from that lunch, we were cool. Like we were cool. We seen each other a couple times during the day. We would like wave at each other and everything, and yeah. So boom. Fast forward to that night. We're playing on the game, and she was actually pretty good. She was pretty good. Like she wasn't one of them fake gamer girls. Like she really was good at the game. So or at least as good as an 8-year-old can be. But so now it's getting kind of late. It's like 12. I know my aunt like she like back then she would like peek her head out and like if she seen like light coming on then she'd run down the hall and she'd unplug everything and like take it. So I was like, all right, I'm about to go to sleep or whatever. She was like, wait. She was like, wait, we should do this every day. So we started doing that every single day. Like actually, like we really would every day we would come home, we talk about our day like online, then we go play some Call of Duty. Then I'd usually be the one that go to sleep because I was a lightweight at like staying up and stuff. So we started to like build this connection, and like a couple months go by. I'd probably say like around this time it was like because she came at like the beginning of the year, but around this time it was like almost the end of third quarter, fourth, like to fourth quarter, and we were like, bro, we everybody thought that we were like going out and stuff. The girls, I'm not gonna lie, they didn't really like me, so they didn't like her even more, and they didn't like me even more because it looked like we were going out, but really we were just friends. That's what we tell everybody. We're just friends. So one day after school, I usually like would get a ride home or whatever. But she was like, "Hey, what are you doing after school?" And I was like, "Oh, like you should know, cause we used to always hang out until my ride would come." So I was like, "You should know. I'm about to get a ride. Probably go to the Boys and Girls Club, and now I'm gonna come home." She was like, "Oh, can you walk me to the store right quick?" Which I used to always go to the store, so this wasn't anything out of the like ordinary. So I was like, all right, sure. Like, what store are we going to? She was like, oh, it's just the corner store. So it's like 2 blocks down. So I'm like, okay. So we walked down, to the 2 blocks. I think she grabbed the like an Arizona and some Gushers. It's like Gushers are a type of candy. They're like Starburst, but I think it's like I don't know if it's really called Gushers, but basically it's a candy where it's like Starburst, but it's like this like gel. It's like this like gel inside of it that like when you eat it, you bite down and then like it like pours out and it's like real sweet and everything like that. So it's basically like if Starburst and the little baby pop I think it's called. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Knows that she got one. So well she didn't get one, but they come in a pack, so she got a pack. And you know, we're walking back. She was like, "Oh, I know a shortcut, like to where your driver would pick you up." Because usually I wait on one side of the school because that's where the security and everything was, and the security would walk me over to the other side. So you know, I was like, "Oh, okay, like cool. That way I can get to the driver, you know, and go home." So as we're walking, if you ever live in the inner city, you know that usually it's a main street, then there's like a couple side streets, and in them side streets there's alleyways and stuff. So we were walking on the main street, and like the main street, basically we had to go like real straight, and then we turn left, cut through an alley, and boom, that's where we're at. Like that's where we were going. So while we're cutting through the alley, she grabs my wrist like this. I'm like, what are you doing? Because mind you, by this time, I kind of sort of, know like I don't know. It was like I thought that like when a girl kissed you, that was like automatic relationship. Like so, she grabbed me and I'm like, "What you doing?" She's like, "Jason, I have to tell you something. I need you to close your eyes." Damn, I just gave out my first name. I'm sorry. She's like, "I need you to close your eyes." So I'm like, "Okay." So I close my eyes. I'm like, "What you gotta?" And before I could even say tell, bow, she kissed me. Woo. So like, it was just like lip to lip. And I remember from like the movies and stuff. I remember like usually when a girl kisses you, you're supposed to like. I always thought you're supposed to like hug them and stuff like that. Cause I would watch anime. That's what they would do in anime. So that's what I did. I like hugged like around her waist and around her back, and like it's so hard explaining this, but so basically our lips was like this, and then we like disconnected for a little bit. And she was like, "Jason, I've been meaning to tell you that like I like you." And I was like, "Really? Like I thought you said we were only friends." And she was like, "But we can be more. Like, I like you." So then my cousin, he ruins the moment. He literally says, "Ew, you're kissing," and I'm like, we both, being 8 years old, we both look back and we're like, "Oh my god!" So like we're all like nervous and stuff, and yeah. So I get in the car with my cousin and we're driving back, and he just like spills the beans to his mom. He's like, "Yeah, I caught Jason kissing in the alleyway with some girl, like. And she's like sitting there like, "Oh, that's so sweet," but I'm like so embarrassed and stuff, and yeah, that's the end of the story time. So hopefully you guys like enjoy this story time. If you do, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, hit the bell icon, comment. I'm answering comments when this goes up. Yeah. When this goes up, I'm going to be answering a whole lot of you guys' comments. So if you comment, it's almost guaranteed that I'm going to answer. And yeah, I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Woo!